Why can't we see the Lokpal draft hearings, parliamentary committee meets on, say, the 2G scam or the cash for vote scam? That's my focus on our debate tonight on the 9 o'clock news. And joining me for more on that, from the government, Rajiv Shukla, new Minister of State for Parliamentary Affairs. Also, Arvind Kejriwal, member of the Lokpal Draft Committee panel. Also, Mr. Narayana Murthy, Infosys chairman, founder and chief mentor. And from London, I'll be joined by Lord Swaraj Paul, former Deputy Speaker of the House of Lords. Thank you all very much for joining me tonight. Rajiv Shukla, let me go across to you first. India, of course, follows the Westminster model of parliamentary democracy. But as we saw in these debates and the Rupert Murdoch hearing yesterday, there's a world of difference. Why do we almost cover up parliamentary hearings, Lokpal panel draft committee hearings? Why do we hide this from the public?
Well, as far as parliamentary proceedings are proceedings are concerned, earlier, as you remember, that it was always in camera. But when Mr. Feroz Gandhi became the member of parliament, he had mooted this idea, and after that, the coverage had been started and press gallery had been created. So, then later on, in the decade of 90s, we had decided to cover the live telecast of the parliamentary proceedings.
Right.
But you are talking about the committees,
yes,
and other parliamentary subcommittees. So I think, there can be debate, there can be national debate on it, and we require a national consensus. Means all political parties should agree to it. But at the same time, if you want to know, having said that, if you want to know my personal opinion, I think right now, time is not ripe to have a live telecast of the parliamentary committees.
Right. But Rajesh Shukla, you're saying that we still need to perhaps be careful about that issue. But let me just go across to Arvind Kejriwal, who's they argued so vociferously that Lokpal panel committee hearings should have been telecast live. Kapil Sibal, Mr. Chidambaram dismissed that. Arvind Kejriwal, do you feel especially after watching David Cameron and Rupert Murdoch, do you think that this is what you've been crying yourself hoarse for, that this was a must for the Lokpal as well?
As you know that all these Lokpal drafting committee meetings, we had been saying that the people of this country are very interested in knowing that what all deliberations are going on inside, and these 10 people don't have all the wisdom, and the people of this country should also participate. They should know who is saying what, and on the basis of that, there should also be a platform through which they could send their feedback and their suggestions. So that this process really becomes deliberative rather than a closed door process. And there was absolutely no reason why it could not have been made transparent, and it could not have been telecast live as is being done in this Rupert Murdoch proceedings.
Rajesh Shukla, the word Arvind Kejriwal is using is closed door. I think that's the point. The Lokpal draft panel was something which was meant to include the people of India, but it didn't actually, did it?
No, I think Sonia, you are raising two separate issues. I was talking about the parliamentary committees.
Right.
This Lokpal committee is not a parliamentary committee,
no,
it's
I know.
a government committee.
Yes, I'm including
so
this.
Parliament, as far as parliamentary government committee, that's also an issue which should be decided by the government. It's purely in domain of government. As far as parliamentary committees are concerned and subcommittees are concerned, joint parliamentary committees are concerned, I think it requires a consensus amongst all the political parties.
Is that code, Rajiv, for saying it's never going to happen?
Is also there.
Yes.
No, my personal opinion is that, have you seen, after that live telecast of parliamentary proceedings, every day there is pandemonium in parliament. Adjournments after adjournments are taking place. So in parliamentary committees, they are still working from morning to evening. Once a live telecast starts, I don't know what will happen. That call has to be taken. Right,
so you're saying that the Tamasha element...
There has to be consensus among all political parties.
That's an interesting point. You're saying, will MPs play to the gallery? We've already seen that in parliament debates which are now telecast live. But let me just go across to, always a voice of sanity and maturity, to Mr. Narayana Murthy. So, we saw what happened in Great Britain, and of course the current debate focus is that as well. Do you think this is a model whose time has now come in India?
I think so. Transparency is always a good thing. Transparency brings out better results, the correct results. Therefore, I think we should get to a higher level of transparency in all our political and public dealings.
NDTV's cricket app, Android and iPhone. Fastest scorecard, special analysis, and much more. Download free. ndtv.com/apps.